That's what I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, the Spirit of God is upon each and every one of us here this morning as we are living in unprecedented times. For most of us have not experienced a pandemic that would bring a threat to health, that would close businesses, that brings a lot of isolation to so many. So we live in confusing times right now, with a loud cry for racial equality, which, by the way, is a whole lot overdue. Right. Yes, sir. We are living in a time where we really crave a stable government, and the list goes on and on. There's so many things going on all at the same time. Talk about living in change, which is what this talk is about, embracing change. Talk about living in change. A shift in consciousness is taking place, my friend. We've been talking about that for so many years, and did we think it was just going to flip over real easy and simple? Everything has to collapse and crash in order for us to build anew, in order for us to come together. So we do right here at Joyful Gatherings, we offer a safe place to support you spiritually, emotionally. And that does, as we all know, affect our health. And so we come together in a manner that we think is really safe. We are practicing all of the protocol, but we're also coming together in community. And just to add to all the changes that are going on the planet, we decide to move to a larger space. Because that's who we are. And let me tell you something, when the divine reaches out and says, I got your dream manifested right here. This is the dream you've been praying for, right here. You don't say, oh no, it's not a good time, God. No, we say yes. And so along with some of the wonderful board members, and when we looked at this place, we're like, well, this is it. Yep, we're gonna do it. It took that long to say yes to God's vision. Because everything takes place in God's timing, not in our timing. Divine timing might not seem when we think it should be. But we need to embrace it. If we're praying to manifest a vision, then when it manifests itself, we say yes. Or else we are not going with that flow. Remember, God does not recognize pandemics. There is no illness in the mind of God. So we are embracing change. We are embracing FEAR. Feeling excited and ready. That's what we're doing. So my friends, change is occurring. And it is occurring at a faster pace than ever before as humanity speeds toward this conscious evolutionary leap. It's all taking place right now. And so that's why it's so important that we remember that we are lights in this world. I'm going to get into that today. We are here for a specific reason. And some changes are expected. Some are complete surprises. Who would have thought a year ago they'll be sitting here wearing masks? Hello? I don't think so. So yes, we say, okay, we wear the masks. Some are pleasant and some changes are devastating. In some we can see the immediate good, and in others we are hard pressed to find it, at least for the time being. But change is happening. Change is always going to happen. We just didn't realize it, but it's always going to happen. And I stand in the absolute, complete knowing that all changes for the better. All changes for the better, and all change occurs because our souls, the essence of who we are, called it forth so we might expand and evolve. We're going to get into this whole thing spiritually. We're taking a spiritual standpoint. It's not what's on the news every day. This is what's in our spiritual teachings that we need to be reminded of. Neil Donald Walsh, in his book, When Everything Changes, wrote this: We all heard it 100 times, and it seems incredibly trite to say it again. But here we go anyway. For every door that closes, there's another one that opens. It doesn't matter what you've lost, your job, your house, your health, your spouse, your credit, your dreams, and even your hopes. It doesn't matter what you've lost or what has been so drastically changed. You can start your life all over again, he writes, and achieve even greater heights, I promise you. That's Neil Donald Walsh's promise to us. Today we look at a powerful, powerful tool for feeling excited and ready for change. First, I want to take a moment to give you an example. It's a little story. I like to put a little story in. This one I've used before, but it fits in here so nicely. So this is about the life of composer Franz Joseph Haydn. As a small child, he was trained to sing and was taken at age 8 into the cathedral choir of St. Stephen's in Vienna. And he sang parts of these solos and received valuable music instruction as well as earning a living. He was a member of the choir for 9 years. And then a momentous change occurred. And that was his voice changed. And when that happened, the director fired him and turned him out onto the streets. At 17, he had lost the only life he had known, and he was penniless. Wow, big change. Some of us can relate to that. Yet he took what he had learned and went on to become a teacher and a composer. In 1760, he was made musical director in the court of a prince of Austria. He held this position most successfully for over 30 years. Then the prince died. And the musical group was disbanded. And Haydn, who was now 58, which was ancient in those times, he was without a job again, and big change. But he refused to be ruffled. He accepted commissions for composing and conducting ventures in London, and then began doing some special teaching. Among his students was Beethoven for a while. And now he had the leisure time to enjoy his fame. 58, was very old then, and his many friends. And then he went on to write some of his most famous works, such as The Creation and The Seasons. Twice in his life, he had been cast aside. But each time he built a new and better life. Because whether he did it consciously or not, he lived in change, and it was all for the better. And I think about the major changes in my life that took place, at 15 and at 60, and at, these humongous changes where it looked like I was going to be on the street. I didn't have any money. And each time my life got better. Everything, each and every time my life got better. Because I trusted, even at 15, when I really didn't know these teachings, I knew these teachings. Because that divinity within me knew these teachings. And I trusted it. And my life got so much better. So much better. And the same again in my 60s. And look at where we are. My life is phenomenal. I'm very happy about it. So I know you can all relate to this, because you don't mean to tell me you've been alive and you haven't had some major losses or changes in your life. But yet, changes can look very scary. And they don't look for the better when they're taking place. They look like, whoa. And that can really startle us. You might even say, if all things happen for the better, and this really is true, then what the blazes does God have in mind with this change I'm going through right now? Because things sure don't look any better for me. In fact, they look a lot worse. And the question then leads us to our next tool for our spiritual toolkit. Our tool for today says, change your idea about why change occurred in the first place. There's a reason for everything. I truly believe that. There's a reason for everything. Why the change occurred in the first place is a big one. The change didn't occur because we live in a scary world that is out to get us. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It didn't occur because we've been bad or misused the law and are now experiencing the consequences. It didn't occur because we are in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now we need to make the most of this situation. So let's take a deep breath. The change occurred because we wanted it to occur. This is the truth. Bear with me. You may be thinking right now, I don't think so. I most definitely did not call this change into being. No way, Jose. I didn't do this. No one in their right mind would want to change like this. And if you are thinking that, you're correct. In their right mind. No one in their right mind would choose this. But your mind didn't make that choice. Your soul made that choice. The soul came in with a purpose. That is what our teachings are telling us. And we forget about our soul. We're so wrapped up in our mind and with all the other garbage that's going on. But all of it is because we were meant to be here. Our souls were meant to be here at this time. The universe is always evolving. So we have been created out of that God stuff, so therefore we are always evolving. Our soul needs to evolve. It needs to evolve. So my friends, you are not a victim of change, but rather the cause of it. It's because we are here as a group. We are here as a soul group to initiate this entire shift in consciousness that's taken place. Now, this idea can be difficult to grasp without a very clear understanding of who we really are. Who we really are. Of our true identity here on this earth plane. Without this understanding, this doesn't make much sense. Walsh suggests this, that in order to deepen into who we really are, into our true identity, on this earth, we must look at life's 4 fundamental questions, which he asked himself, and then he allowed them to flow through him, and he wrote this in his book. The questions are, and I remember having this question, remember this when you were a kid, who am I? You might still be having it. Who am I? Where am I? Why am I here? And why am I where I am? So I want to read you his answers, because they go pretty much along with what we're talking about. Who am I? You are an individuation of divinity. There is only one thing, and all things are part of the one thing. Life is God expressing itself. You are a part of life. Therefore, you are a part of God. The only way this could not be true, he writes, would be if life and God was somehow separate. Such a thing is impossible. We don't believe that. Unification, unity. There is no separation in God. Where am I? You are in the realm of the physical, which is part of what you call heaven. The sadness is that you do not think you're in heaven. And so your imagined reality is that you have to get there. You got to get to heaven. We got to be good on earth. We got to get to heaven. There is nothing you have to do. Nothing you have to be, and nowhere you have to go to experience paradise, he says. Merely look upward at the starry night. Look at the skyline at dusk or dawn. You are in heaven, and you are calling it something else. And you were acting as if it were something else. And so, of course, you have created something else, something other than God. Mahomes tells us there is not God and. There is God. There is this universal energy. There is only this oneness, this unity. That is all there is. Why am I where I am? There are questions. You are where you are because in the realm of the spiritual, you can know absolutely who you are. But you cannot experience that in relative terms. And so you venture into the realm of the physical so that you may gain a world of experiences. So, as we always say, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That is how our soul grows and evolves. Otherwise, we would just stay the same. We'd be floating lights, which doesn't sound so bad sometimes. Floating around the ethers, enjoying, living love, and all of those wonderful qualities. But anyway, we're having a human experience. That's why we're here in this room. That's why we're here on this planet. And the fourth one, what am I doing here? You are here to use the tools and devices, which include our own body, that are only available in the realm of the physical, to bring you the world of experiences your soul wished to have, so that you have come to know your true self in a tangible, physical way in the same way you know yourself in the realm of the physical. We know we are spiritual beings. That is what we know. This Walsh calls the system of the soul. This is who we are, where we are, and why we are here. And I believe we're here at this particular time to shine our lights. We really need to shine our lights for those who cannot. There are so many people right now who are in the darkness. So our job, we have trained for this. Our job, and our souls have called us forth for this. Our job is to shine our light, to be that presence of the divine, to be examples. Just as Jesus was the example, he wasn't the exception. We are examples of that light of God. That is why we can take obstacles and make them into stepping stones, which is what we did. That's why we're here this morning. We took that whole series I did last month of obstacles and we turned them into stepping stones. And we said, yes, use me, God. Use this spiritual community. Use us for good in the world. And that's why we're here this morning and not on Zoom. We're here because we want to be seen and heard and felt.
Amen.
Yeah. Now, Walsh's wife, M. Claire, wrote this beautiful poem about the system of the soul. She wrote this: I am that I am and so much more. The light, the sound, the living God on the ground. I could show you every feather in the wing, every color and hue, every beautiful thing. But I am that I am wants to love whoever has not yet had it, whatever has not yet known it, however life not yet done it. There is still so much loving yet to be found, just living God on the ground. Don't you find that's true?
Yes.
I find there's so much more love within us. I feel more love at this time on this planet than I have ever felt in my entire life. So we are here. That's a sign. That's a sign that we are here for this journey. We are here. Let's shine those lights that we have. And so, my friends, so that change occurs, that we can live, it all occurs so we can live a greater degree of our God selves on this ground. God is expressing through and as us. The divine delights in experiencing itself through us.
Yes.
That's the truth. That's what we believe. Let's say it, let's live it, let's practice it. Everything that changes at your direction. You want it to occur because you are continually choosing the perfect people, places, and conditions with whom to experience what you next seek to experience. As you move forward in the process of the evolution of your soul, do you ever notice how when you make a vision and you let go of the outcome, which is very important to do, that you run into people that you never ran into before. You've got phone calls from people you never heard for maybe years or never before. This is because the universe is conspiring for our good all of the time, all of the time. Yes, it can definitely be scary, but I love the new acronym for fear. And most of us know the older one that's been around for years, false evidence appearing real. We know that one, and it's a good start. But Walsh's is so much better. Feeling excited and ready. Are you feeling excited and ready to take on life at life's term and be that life?
Yes.
That's what it's about. I'm excited and ready for the up-leveling of who I am and who we are as a spiritual community. I am feeling excited and ready for the changes this up-leveling is bringing. And I'm feeling excited and ready for the up-leveling of who you are and the changes that are occurring in this life and the up-leveling it is bringing to you. Just remember to stay aligned with the divine, stay rooted, stay grounded in these spiritual teachings. They empower you. That's the whole point of them, to give you to you. Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you did not do than by the ones you did. So throw up the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. So I want you to bring, real quickly, I'm going to end it with this, I want you to bring into your mind a situation, whatever change is coming up for you right now. And allow yourself to feel the human fear anyway. Feel it around it. And breathe that for just a moment. Be with it. It's okay to feel the fear. And now we're going to shift our perception of that fear, all around fear itself. Realize in your mind and in your heart, this fear you are experiencing around this change is really your soul feeling excited and ready. Excited and ready for the newness that this change is going to bring. For the expanded way of being that will result because of the change. For the opportunities and experiences that will happen because it is occurring. Realizing fear, this fear is really the essence of you. Feeling excited and ready. Ready to jump into life at new levels, at a new depth, at a new height. We are here right now to be the light, to be the love, to be the kindness, and to be compassionate with ourselves and with others. That's why we are here. I thank you. I thank you.